Look what we have here. This is our 1974 genuine British Army. We believe it was ex-communications, they call it comms for communications, trailer. Fully insulated. Well, this is our first thing I built. I built this before I met Gabby, to be honest. And this is what I used to take me and my son to shows in. We did a few years of shows in this, in various stages. It's only really got finished since I started using it as a glamping pod. I did try selling it once, but the questions I were being asked on eBay was like, will a Peugeot 406 tow it to Spain? I wouldn't recommend it, no. It says lorry trailer with air brakes. But if you want to do it, I don't want to have anything to do with that. I wasn't responsible for that at all. So when we first got it, that was just a piece of metal. There were no window there, so we've put a plastic window in there. It's the type of window that you call caravan windows, so they've got the lip on the edge, so you can just slot them straight in. And then we used to have a tank underneath there that collected all the toilet waste, but now it's a semi-flow pump, and it pumps it away now, so we don't have to worry about emptying tanks. I mean, the old water used to fill up just here. I don't use the tank anymore because it's just straight to the mains. You can see at the front here, there's a mains pipe comes straight into it, so we don't need to bother about the water anymore. That was always an outlet of power. Now it's used for the semi-flow pump. And you get your own picnic table. Light that comes on when you come near the door. A nice set of steps to get in and out. And everything we have has one of these what they call a digilock on, so you can't get in unless you know the code. It's everything you need for a quiet weekend away on a quiet site. So we're quite glad in the end that we didn't sell it, because as it's turned out, we've bought a campsite and now we want more things like this, not less. So this is the first glamping pod I built. I didn't build it as a glamping pod, I built it to actually go on holiday in. We'd got the army lorry and the Fordson tractor. So we put the Fordson tractor back of the lorry, wanted a caravan. And me being me, I couldn't get a normal caravan, so this one on the market at the right money. Although, if you look at the pictures, it was just a shell when I bought it. So we bought it, and me and Brendan, my son, went to pick it up. And rather than just bringing it straight home, we decided to take it with a camping trip. So we went and picked this trailer up. We put it on the back of the lorry and plugged it all in, and all the air brakes worked, and all the lights worked. Unbelievable, really. So we towed it a couple of miles down the road where we met up with some mates who organised a bit of a trip for the laners. But what I didn't realise is that they booked us in a proper campsite. So I turned up at this campsite with this big lorry that barely fitted through gates and a trailer that I'd never driven before. We got into the campsite, and then the organiser says, yeah, you're in that bay there. Well, with the steering on this, it doesn't reverse like a normal trailer, it turns itself, so you have to go right way, which is wrong way, right way, and it gets all confusing. So anyway, that was the highlight of the night for the other campers on the campsite, watching me reverse this army lorry into the bay. Anyway, eventually I got it in a bay. It wasn't the one I was aiming for, but I got it in one. So we just swapped it for somebody else who was supposed to have that bay. Job's a good one. Anyway, it was just a bit of tin sheet up front where window is. There were just two big benches down the sides. So we got some timber, we laid it across the benches, that I brought with me, and a brand new mattress. Well, the mattress was perfect width. The timber, however, was 8 foot, and this is only 7'6", and we hadn't got a saw between us. So we ended up putting the timber at 45 degrees, just like balancing the mattress on it, and settling down for a night's sleep. Well, we woke up in the middle of the night and it was red hot. So I had to open this door and open the window a little bit, and all right. Now I'm talking to people at breakfast time. I says, how'd you get on your caravan? I says, oh, we had eating on full blast. It was a bit cold, weren't it? So at that point I decided to keep the insulation that was in this. It's obviously really good insulation. So when we ripped all the walls off, we left the insulation in, we ripped all the ceiling down, we left the insulation in, and the blow heater decided to kick in. So we decided we better leave the insulation in. So we left the insulation in. When we ripped all the ceiling off, ripped all the walls off, we put plywood on the walls, hardboard on the ceiling to get that nice bow, carpeted the ceiling, decided to carpet all the bedroom out, because the bedrooms, I thought this plastic cladding, however nice it is and wipe clean it is, it's a bit cold for a bedroom. I mean, I did it in this white stuff because I was going to muddy fields. I didn't want it to get muddy over time. I wanted something I could just wipe off. Jobs are good and come out again in it. So we set about redoing it then, really. So we put this plastic clad on the wall, a nice kitchen in here. But it was always originally meant to be off-grid. So under the bed, there's a 600 litre water tank, which now is not in use because it's straight off the mains pressure. We never had the microwave up there because it was off of batteries and solar panels. The roof was covered in solar panels. I think we went to quite a few shows in it, but the army lorry could only pull it at 11 miles an hour up some big steep hills and with it being on solar panels, you've got a limited use of electric. So it was a gas boiler, a gas hob. It was all 24 volt lights. The reason I went 24 volt is when I plugged into the lorry, it was 24 volt. We could charge the batteries up when we drove. So it's all 24 volt lights, which now has got a transformer on it, run straight off at mains at 24 volt. But we're trying to keep it a thing. We still went for a 240 volt fridge though. That's a proper built-in fridge. We had enough power to run that because we wasn't running for long and make sure we put everything that was cold already in it. And then set about building the bathroom. I thought, well, when I build the bathroom, what do we need out of a bathroom? You don't want it to be too tight for your shower. I think I made it a little bit too big. The access to the bedroom was a little narrow. I wish I just... But then if I hadn't got the tank under the bed, I would have had the bed lower anyway. So you just make you do what you've got at the time. So the bathroom, I thought, well, I need a shower in there, so I'll put a shower tray in. So I got a biggest shower tray I could find, put that in first. And I thought, right, well, we need a toilet. How are we going to do the toilet? So I looked around and I found this boat toilet, which I thought would be perfect. Because it puts it into a tank underneath, uses very little water, and a lot of steam valleys have got basically a manhole cover where they tip their waste down when they leave. So everybody was queuing up the little boxes, and now we're queuing up at lorry and trailer trying to get the outlet of the tank exactly over the manhole, which was interesting. But it worked fine. But now we've gone to a stationary position. We've took the tank off, we've fitted a semi-flow pump. So anything that goes down the toilet now goes through the semi-flow pump, pumped in now 100 metres of pipe round the site, and then drops into the septic tank. Low maintenance. First year we used the tank and we're emptying it every other weekend, and it's not the nicest job. But then we thought, well, what shower do we need? Well, because we're off grid, the only way we could make hot water wasn't with electric because there's not enough electric. And if I was building this for a glamping pod here now, I wouldn't put a shower in it because we've got a lovely shower block down there. Why would you put a shower in, taking all that room up for something that you can go and do for 5 minutes down at the shower block and have all that space for the rest of the time? But that's where we went. So at the time we didn't have the shower block, it was meant for us to go on holiday, so we needed a shower. So I just got a thermostatic one that runs off the boiler in this cupboard here. Thermostatic, so it can never get too hot and burn you. It's straight off the boiler. We did have a shower pump. Well, I went for the 240 volt shower pump, which I think I'd be better off going for a 24 volt like I've used in the big West Wing over there. But at the time I was learning, so 240 volt shower pump with a negative head because the tank was lower than the shower output. So it always keeps a pressure in the pipes. When the pressure drops, it turns the pump back on. Whereas the other one's the other way around. It senses a flow and then turns the pump on, which we wouldn't have a flow because the shower head's higher than the tank. So that was the shower went for. Reason being, we got to run off gas because we couldn't store the energy any other way. The bedroom, I made it that size just because that's how big a mattress is. The idea was I was only ever going to sleep in the bed. The rest of the time out here, I've got this like put me up sofa bed that I'm sat on now. Originally that was done with some caravan cushions that I got lying about, but then when I sold my old caravan, the cushions had to go with that. So fortunately, Gabby, being an upholsterer, she managed to make me some tweed cushions, which I love. this bed's all right, but it's only suitable for one child, really. It's not. It's what put me up, but it's more of a sofa. It's just somewhere to sit, and if it's raining. But we do say you can bring a child and use it because it's not a bad bed. It's comfy enough. It's just in the middle of the room, but it's only a small pod. So trying to fit everything in one of these tiny spaces. We've got the telly in here. We've got plenty of cupboard space. As you can see, all these cupboards we've got around the top. But we wanted to make sure that we're never struggling for cupboard space. But I think this has turned out really well. It's been done 5 years now, and it's been actually rented out for 18 months on the campsite. So it's standing up to it really well, I think. All the drawers are still running, all it should. And then we've got a view outside. We first of all, we located this down the bottom of the field, but with complaints from the farmer on the hill, we've had to move it because the council being round and said it's not fitting with planning. It's got wheels on, but that's another argument. So we've done what they've asked, and we've brought it down here. There's a nice picnic bench out here, and you can sit here and just look out. With the way it's positioned, you can not see all the caravans that are usually parked here, and you can see the open field. I mean, there is the pylon in the middle of the field, which is not the best, but we're using it for power, so we can't complain too much. You can hear the birds singing, and it's really nice. I like this time of year because it's quiet around here. If you do come and stop this time of year, you'll probably only see either nobody or one or two other people, and you've got the whole place to walk round to yourself. But Bringwell is this time of year because it can get a bit marshy. But at the minute, it's lovely. I mean, we're what is it now? Just February time now, so it's not bad at all. But you do sit here looking how much work you've got to do, thinking their edges want cutting and that grass is going to need cutting soon, and it never stops. But this is why we thought we'd use some videos and show you what a nightmare in a campsite is. So that's about it about the trailer, really. We've told you the history of it. Bought it as an impulse, as I do with many things. And it was fitting to the back of my lorry I had at the time. When I sold the lorry, just kept the trailer on.